We made it to Berlin, Germany. But first, one more breakfast in Copenhagen. We found this plant-based restaurant called Kaf, and they had the most delicious cheesecake ever. Yes, that's right, we had cheesecake for breakfast. It was amazing, and he did not want to share any of it with me. But that's okay, because look at all this delicious food that we had. I was really surprised to see passion fruit or lilikoi there. It was so yummy. We put all of that together like a sandwich, and it was great. And in case you missed it, my name is Antonia, and that's my 16-year-old son, Taj. We are on a 30-day world school adventure trying to visit as many cities and countries as we can. And so far, we've been having a great time. We ended up at Christiansburg Palace again. This time we were on the other side, near the royal stables. Taj was inspired to sketch the palace as well as some of the horses, so it was an art day. And I can't wait to come back to Copenhagen again. We boarded the train, which took us back to the airport, and to be honest, after the long 24-hour journey to get here, it felt a little too soon to be back on a plane. We are in Germany. One of the cool things about world schooling is that Taj has had to figure out how to navigate his way through foreign countries in airports where the language is not something he's familiar with. He's also had to figure out how to stay within a budget and figure out what we're going to do each day. Okay, here it goes. After a quick 45-minute flight from Copenhagen, we are now in Berlin, Germany, and it has been a rough start so far. So the first place that we are staying, we're actually only going to be here for 2 days, and the first night was at a hostel in East Berlin, and yeah, I guess they're just weren't very accurate pictures on the website. The reviews are pretty good. I don't know if I want to mention what the name of the hostel was because it was just absolutely dreadful. Yeah, I thought the Villa Vendetta in Tivoli was scary. This place was legit really scary. There were just these darkly lit hallways. It looked like something out of a horror movie. I thought we were going to get murdered. The whole situation was just kind of sketchy, and yeah, I think we were there for maybe a couple of hours before I just said, okay, I can't do this anymore, and we checked out, went across the street, and checked into a hotel. So yeah, that was an interesting experience. Yeah. It's all a part of the journey, I guess. We also found a vegan pizza place that was a walking distance from the hostel, and it had really good reviews as well. Apparently you needed to make reservations, which we didn't know. So when we got there, the only table that they could seat us in was like this little kiddie table in the front where all the waiters needed to go to get the food, and it was really awkward. So yeah, we sat at a kid's table and ate pizza. Apparently it was supposed to be like authentic Naples style wood burning oven crust. It sounded really good. The ingredients, the toppings sounded different. It wasn't like your traditional pepperoni pizza or anything like that, which was fine. We were open to trying something new. I think maybe we just got two of the most unique options for toppings. Maybe our taste buds just aren't quite accustomed to this style of pizza. It wasn't the greatest experience, and yeah, then we left there in the dark, in the cold. We walked back to our terrifying hostel, got our things, and left. All right, hold on. I'm actually editing the Berlin video right now, and I just had to jump on and say the reason why the hostel was so scary, well, part of the reason was the feeling, and I don't know how to quite explain it, but you ever walk into a building and it just feels creepy? I didn't realize this. The history of the building is in fine print on their website, and it's actually a building from the early 1900s. It was an auxiliary military hospital for 200 wounded soldiers during the First World War. It was also a nunnery, and it was a transit camp for refugees and displaced persons sometime in 1945. So the whole vibe of the building is really creepy, but the final straw was that when we came back from the restaurant from eating pizza and went to go use the bathroom is actually a separate room down the dark hallway, and there were no lights, and the whole vibe is kind of like I would say mental institution / haunted house. So the bathroom was really tiny and dark, and there were no lights. So in order for me to use the bathroom, I had to leave the door open. Like, it was really hard to explain how weird this setup was, but you go and open the toilet lid and it was just like brown water, and I flushed it and it's still brown, and I don't know, it just felt like somebody died in there not too long ago, and the vibe, it just weirded me out. So I'm usually a trooper for crazy situations, but this one just didn't feel right. So that's why I decided to get our things and we checked into another hotel. I knew that during this journey we would have some hostels that were not the nicest, not the fanciest, and that's totally fine. That's part of the experience. But when you just don't feel safe and you're in a foreign country, you don't speak the language, and it just doesn't sit right with you, and you're traveling with your kid, I think sometimes it's best to err on the side of safety and, you know, just use your best judgment, and that's what we did. So this has been an interesting start to this journey. Today I hope it's going to be much better. We are, like I said, we're in a new hotel. It's much nicer. We're going to get our things. We're actually checking into another hotel tonight. I couldn't find places that had 2 consecutive nights that were within our budget, so we had to have 2 separate places. But now that I've had to actually book a whole nother hotel, we might as well have stayed in a fancy hotel because, yeah, anyway, it's been a lot. But you know what? That's all a part of the journey. We have to remain flexible and be positive. We're going to just start with a clean slate today and see some sights and walk around and see the historical parts of Germany that Taj has been learning about in his Worldschooling research. We're going to have some fun today, and we'll catch you later. This veggie burger is so good. It's like a falafel. It's very crispy on the inside, and the bun is perfect, and I really like it. You have to take the toothpick out. There was a lot of activity in the city today. It looks like there was a big climate protest. We saw a lot of people with signs and banners, and even some people in costume. There was also construction everywhere we looked. But after a really long walk, we finally made it to our final destination for Berlin, which was the Berlin Wall. It was really interesting to see something that we had both been researching and learning about, and it was also kind of interesting to see people just casually hanging out in an area where just a few decades ago you would have been shot for being in this middle area between the two walls that separated East and West Berlin. By the time we got back from the Berlin Wall, it was time to check into our final hotel for our Berlin trip. This was the Hotel Bnb Alexanderplatz. It was very close to the mall, and actually right outside that window you could see the TV tower. I don't know why I didn't get a shot of that, but just imagine it there. It was very comfortable, and we were so tired we didn't go out to get anything to eat. Instead, we just ordered Uber Eats from a vegan Thai place, and I think it was literally called vegan Thai food. Anyway, it was really good. And that was our final day in Berlin.